Let's bring in junkscience.com publisher and former Trump 2016 transition team member, Steve Milloy. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. All right, give us the reality. You know, you got Bill Gates out there saying one thing, but tell us your perspective.
Right. Well, Lisa and Jason, thanks for having me. So it's no surprise to me that Antarctic is gaining ice mass. I've been telling people this for years. Antarctica has been cooling for the last 70 years. Even on the west side, the West Antarctic ice sheet, where there's the Doomsday Glacier, supposedly, whatever warming has been from the volcanoes underneath, not from the emissions or the atmosphere above. So emissions are having no effect in the Antarctic or any place else in the world. As far as Bill Gates has invested more than any person in climate, $5 to $6 billion, and he's produced exactly zero so far. So, of course, he wants the world to save the climate hoax from, the failure that it is, and to save his investment. He's invested into things like geoengineering. He wants to blot out the sun. None of this is working out. It's a total loss for him.
Steve, we look at the fact that these climate change zealots went from the ice age is coming to the polar caps are going to melt. Why do they keep getting it wrong?
Well, it's got nothing to do with the environment or the climate. It started out with global cooling, then went to global warming, then became climate change, then extreme weather, then weather weirding, and then who knows what. Then it became, sort of DEI for the environment, and with environmental justice. It's just a political agenda. The left wants to control what we do. They want political power. They want to control the economy. So climate was really the perfect way to do that. It's all been a scam for political power. And, thanks to President Trump, it is really finally unraveling.
Hey, let's talk about what's going on in Hawaii. I go to Hawaii pretty frequently. I love Hawaii. It's great. It's wonderful. You just breathe the air. I love it there. But they want to now raise taxes, but they use the guise of, hey, it's because of climate change. That's why we got to raise taxes. Yeah. It's a tourist tax.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with tourists paying to keep Hawaii beautiful. They use it, so they should pay for that. This bit about it being for the climate is kind of ridiculous. I think, they're hiding behind the 2023 Maui fires, which were caused by government negligence. Governor Josh Green came out right away, and the first thing he did after the fires was blame climate. And of course, it was only his government's incompetence and even his own. He said that it was the first time he had been exposed to anything like that as far as responsibility. So, and there's been no accountability in the government. And now they're trying to move on and tax tourists because of the climate, which is ridiculous. They should just tax the tourists because it's what it costs to keep the island beautiful.
Steve, but you look at this objective from the left, like let's take Bill Gates seriously for a moment to get to net zero. What would that mean for civilization to accomplish that goal?
Well, yeah, so it would be impossible. Our entire lot, all of everything we do in society depends on fossil fuels. Before fossil fuels, there were less than 1 billion people on the planet. Now we have more than 8 billion. It's all because of fossil fuels and all because of emissions. If we were to get to net zero, which is impossible, there would be mass death. Billions of people would be dead. We would have fewer people on the planet than we had before fossil fuels because, of course, we don't know how to take care of ourselves anymore. Net zero is just, it's a fraud, it's a con. It's not happening. We just need to move on from it.
No, Steve Milloy, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. All right, we got to move on to this. The Real ID deadline hits on Wednesday. Despite chaos at DMV.